Hey everyone! Welcome to our first Desktop Tuesday of 2018. Today, let's take a quick look back at 2017 and then take a peek forward to where we're going in 2018. As we did this time last year, let's start with Stonehearth's goal. Stonehearth is a fantasy town-building ant farm game where you pioneer a living world that inspires warmth, creativity, and storytelling. In early 2017, we stated that to achieve this goal, we would need 1. A really solid game loop so that you always know what you want to do next. 2. A satisfying conclusion so that you can celebrate your victories. And 3. To understand multiplayer so that we could figure out how to implement it. Because a conclusion and multiplayer can't really exist in a game without a solid game loop, we said that we would spend all of 2017, quote, revising and expanding existing systems so that they create a virtuous loop of optimization, customization, breadth, and depth. Looking back over the year, that is exactly what we worked on. By introducing happiness, traits, conversations, appeal, and the new fine items, we created core systems that allow your Hearthlings to tell you what needs to be built and optimized next. At the same time, Hearthlings are now individuals with their own quirks and preferences, so no town and no optimization solution is the same game to game. Focusing our systems on the Hearthlings also gets us closer to our goal of creating a world that inspires warmth, creativity, and storytelling. Merely open up a person's character sheet now, and you can read a whole backstory into their traits and preferences, adding significance to dangerous rescues and epic building accomplishments. We also said, this time last year, that we were going to work on simulation features like water and building, which we definitely did. Albert hammered hard on water's stability and on allowing it to interact with buildings, which means water parks and hanging gardens are now totally possible. Chris and now Justin and Nikki, in the meantime, have spent the last 9 months completely rewriting the basic building code, from the infrastructure all the way to its UX principles, with all of the things that they learned from building and patching the original system, and we look forward to putting all their hard work in your hands soon. In 2017, we also dedicated a significant amount of time to another important goal, understanding and evaluating multiplayer. Angelo resuscitated Tony's original multiplayer code, and he and Richard created several prototypes that have shown us that Stonehearth's multiplayer is best realized as a cooperative experience on a shared map and will emphasize your ability to confront challenges and build things together. So overall, we got a lot of things done this year that we meant to do. Of course, there is never enough time in a year to do all the things that we wanted, and we also hear 2 major recurring complaints from all of you. 1, that because the new building system hasn't yet landed, that building is still a problem, and 2, that thanks to our emphasis on systems as opposed to content, that the game world still feels empty. So in 2018, with important foundational elements now in place, we'll switch our focus away from systems to go hard on the elements that make for an amazing building sandbox experience. Building, obviously, multiplayer, and content. So let's ship that new building experience. That will be our focus for Alpha 24. Chris has the infrastructure mostly working, and he and Justin and Nikki are now working on putting a bunch of user experience pieces together. Stairs, roofs, walls, making them relate to each other, for example, and how to get a building drawn as smoothly and easily as possible. After Alpha 23 ships, look for this leap forward in late Q1 of 2018. Meanwhile, and because we believe a building game is better when you're building with your friends, our multiplayer team of Angelo, Linda, and Morgan will be working on getting multiplayer Stonehearth stable and secure and making sure all the existing content is workable. Security and stability are really important to us, so expect multiplayer in Alpha 25, after we ship building. Finally, our last sub-team, made up of Max, Luke, Ali, and Mally, will be working on our 3rd key project, making the world around your town feel more alive by filling it with interesting encounters, both friendly and dangerous. Originally, this started as a project that was about conclusions. As you see above, we originally thought that giving the game a satisfying conclusion was a prerequisite of making a great experience. But what does it mean to really be finished with a sandbox gaming experience? Making a conclusion is really hard when what we really want to see is how your actions and the simulation bounce off of each other. So instead, we'll probably implement Town Tier 3 as a progress marker, a time when the world acknowledges that your Hearthlings have accomplished their goals to build an awesome city, so that you can take a moment to celebrate before you keep going. But keep going to what? Well, to address your point that the game feels empty, this team will focus also on filling the world with life, more encounters with varied rewards, at least one friendly faction, and at least one really formidable endgame challenge like a Titan. This work will happen in parallel with our building and multiplayer efforts, so keep an eye on our unstable branch in the coming months as all of these projects begin to manifest. After all this key work, it'll be time to do another pass on performance and bug fixing, and with this and a few other treats like pets and maybe our last faction and biome, we think we'll have a really solid basic Stonehearth experience with lots of room for future growth and tons of mods. Speaking of mods, did you know that in his free time while on holiday break, our amazing tech lead Max spent a chunk of his time updating community modders Repeat Pan and Froggy's still amazing 2016 Frost Feast holiday mod to work with Alpha 23. You can pick up the updated mod from the link in the comments below or on stonehearth.net. Simply drop the mod in the mods folder of your game, and the holidays can live on in Stonehearth for as long as you've got the mod enabled through the setting menu's mod manager. Come rediscover the warmth of the Church of Plenty, the awesomeness of chimneys and ovens, the mysteries of the evolving tree sculpture, and of course, the questionable motivations of Akinar and his rotated cultists. In the meantime, through all of this, we've been doing finishing touches on Alpha 23, which, as you know, focuses on appeal and fine items. Before we close it out, look for at least one other small update with improvements to workshops and a ton of new and improved animations that make Hearthlings feel even more like real people. Lastly, let me schedule some dates for our next couple Europe streams, Wednesday, February 7th, and Wednesday, May 9th. And that's it for this week. I'm very excited for all the things coming in 2018. We've always talked about how this game has been built with all of you, and I look forward to taking it to the next step, in which we build stuff in-game with all of you. Let us know which of these things you're most looking forward to in the comments or on our forum at discourse.stonehearth.net. You can also find us on Twitch. A different member of our team streams our development every Thursday at 6 p.m. PST on www.twitch.tv/Stonehearth. See you then, or see you next week.